Hey guys, this is a football chat reaction to Xabi Alonso becoming the Chelsea manager. I don't know whether this is a good choice by Alonso. Does he really need that, madness that is Chelsea, where they don't seem to really understand what's going on? If he's got it written in his contract where he's saying, listen, I am not the head coach, I'm none of that crap, I am the manager, I take full control of everything that's going on because the people running the club don't seem to have a clue, then fair enough, maybe you can do something there. But me personally, it just seems a bit of a madhouse. And after what happened at Real Madrid, I'm thinking to myself, does he really need that? I was a little bit surprised. But then again, I was thinking, Manchester United, they're going for Carrick. There's obviously been no, conversations with Liverpool, which I find surprising. They've lost 18 games this season. So I'm very surprised, Liverpool didn't have the conversation. Maybe they're not going to sack Slot, but you got to keep your options open because that has gone, tits up. So, Arsenal are not going to go anywhere. Maybe City if Pep went, with that, of course, that would be an amazing appointment. But, is Chelsea the best out there? I don't know. I wouldn't have gone to Chelsea, to be honest, because I don't think the way the club's run, it's very stable. And when things start going wrong in October, November, and, things, people are calling for his head, and they always want to be number one, they want to be Champions League, they want to be everything, but they're not run like that. So I think it is going to be very difficult for him. Players are wanting to leave in the summer. I think there's a lot of headaches heading his way, and for a new manager coming in, does he really need so many headaches? The club, the team's inexperienced, the owners, I feel, are inexperienced, they don't know what they're doing. Do they change their tactic of, buying some experienced players, which they desperately need? I don't know if Xabi Alonso needs all those headaches. Unless, that's what winners do, I guess. They want the headaches, they want to solve those problems and get it all right. But, I think it could be not the best for Alonso. For Chelsea, yeah, but for Alonso, I'm not so sure. But, just my opinion. Just thought I'd share it. I hope everyone's having a great day and enjoy the football later on. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.